Today, the Subcommittee on Water, Wildlife, and Fisheries will examine 4 bills that will foster good stewardship of taxpayer dollars, achieve better and more effective conservation outcomes, and provide necessary relief from predatory double-crested cormorants for aquacultural producers. Our first bill, sponsored by Congressman Arrington of Texas, would prevent the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service from implementing the Biden administration's land management plan for the Muleshoe National Wildlife Refuge in West Texas and eastern New Mexico.
Before we hear a lot of overheated rhetoric about land grabs, let's set some facts here. Fish and Wildlife Service cannot seize land. It cannot pressure landowners. It may only acquire land, water, or other interests from willing sellers, full stop. There is no land grab. That's a fiction designed to stir outrage, not an honest reflection of reality. But here we are. My Republican colleagues have brought another bill rooted in the same old hollow narrative where every conservation effort is cast as a government overreach and a conspiracy, where public lands are treated like some kind of a looming threat instead of an intergenerational legacy. And the truth is just different. Muleshoe Land Protection Plan is a science-based voluntary initiative that offers landowners a new tool to manage their property while supporting conservation if they choose. It's the product of years of research, listening sessions, and direct engagement with the very people who live and work in the region. And the plan doesn't restrict landowner rights, it expands them. It gives landowners a choice to conserve habitat for birds and wildlife, to be compensated for doing it, and to be part of something larger than their own fence lines. That is not a threat, it's a partnership. And it's exactly the kind of win-win conservation we should be lifting up, the kind that Republicans used to celebrate, and we shouldn't be tearing it down here today.
I will note that once again, the minority has chosen to ignore their own members' legislation, choosing instead to identify a witness to oppose a Republican bill rather than a witness to testify as to the value of the Democrat bill before us. This trend is not surprising. Less than half of the legislative hearings last Congress had a witness expressing support for a minority-sponsored bill. With that, I want to take the time to thank the witnesses for being here today, and I look forward to a robust conversation. I now recognize Ranking Member Huffman for his opening statement. Thank you,
Madam Chair. And Madam Chair, I think you know that Democrats would love to have an additional witness, so that we could actually have our witnesses speak to both the bills we support and, unfortunately, the bills that we must oppose. But when we're limited to one witness, we're kind of stuck. And so I would love it if you would go back to the practice that I did when I chaired this committee, which was to reach out to the minority party and see if we could find some joint witnesses where you wouldn't have to be jammed into this Hobson's choice. But until then, I guess we will have snarky comments about, which witnesses the Democrats choose with their one lonely witness choice. And then I guess we will respond in kind by pointing out that the Republicans never want to call anyone from the administration to ever testify at their hearings, which is also a problem. But gosh, let's be better. Let's get beyond that kind of partisan stuff. Let's be clear. This isn't just about one refuge. The bill's part of a broader campaign by fringe organizations like American Stewards of Liberty, groups that specialize in fear-mongering, misinformation, and dismantling environmental protections under the guise of defending freedom. And I say to my colleagues and to the communities watching, don't fall for it. The National Wildlife Refuge System is the world's largest network of lands and waters dedicated to conserving wildlife. These refuges are not just lines on a map, they're vital sanctuaries for migratory birds, endangered species, entire ecosystems that sustain our air, water, and climate, and for millions of Americans, they're right next door. Our wildlife refuges are also economic engines. Refuges draw hunters, anglers, fishers, outdoor recreationalists, photographers, bird watchers, and tourists. They support local businesses, generate a lot of rural jobs, and increase county revenues. Many even incorporate agriculture because conservation and working lands don't have to be at odds. And that's why National Wildlife Refuges have long enjoyed bipartisan support. They're shaped by local voices, managed with state and community input, and built on a model of collaboration that works. Muleshoe is no exception. There, landowners, hunters, conservationists, and residents have come together to protect a fragile and vital landscape. We're going to hear from one of those voices today. and we should be honoring that success, not politicizing and dismantling it. We should be expanding staffing and investing in the future of these places so that Americans, more Americans, can hunt, hike, farm, and enjoy them. So let's reject the fear-mongering and the politics. Let's stand with communities, and let's do our part to preserve our nation's special places for generations to come. I yield back.